Hello everyone, welcome back to One Day One Topic series. So the today's topic is classification of joints. So I've got your back, so let's begin by the classification of joint. Let's start by what is joint. Joint is articulation. It is an anatomical site where two or more bones meet together. Okay, from an orthopedic and a physiotherapy perspective, joints are designed to balance mobility and stability, allowing movement while maintaining the structural support. So the main classification of joints have two principal ways. So first is structural and another is functional. So based on tissue and the presence of joint cavity, it is structural, and functional based on degree of movement, it is functional. So let's start by first type, which is fibrous joint, also known as synarthrosis type. So the bones which are connected by fibrous connective tissue and with no joint cavity, they are known as fibrous joints. And the characteristic of such type of joints are they are very strong, they are immovable or very slight movement is seen, and they provide stability and protection. So it further has few types. First is suture, which is found between the skull bones, and for example coronal suture, and the function is to protect the brain. Okay, then comes the syndesmosis, the bones which are connected by ligament or interossseous membrane. Example, distal fibular joint. Then comes gomphosis, also known as peg and socket type. For example, tooth in alveolar socket is an example for gomphosis. Then comes our cartilaginous joint, also known as amphiarthrosis. The definition for this is which are joints which are connected by cartilage and no joint cavity is present. It is slightly movable and the function is they do shock absorption. Okay, and there is further types. First is primary cartilaginous joint, then is secondary cartilaginous joint. So primary cartilaginous joint has hyaline cartilage, which is usually temporary, and secondary cartilaginous joint, it has a fibrocartilage present and it is permanent. For example, for secondary cartilaginous joint is intravertebral disc and pubic symphysis. Here you can see the hyaline cartilage, this is the epiphyseal plate, this is diaphysis, and here we can see the fibrocartilage between the pubic bone and pubic symphysis. Here we can see fibrocartilage. The clinical relevance for this is disc prolapse and degenerative spine changes. Synovial joint is very important. Okay, very important, also known as diarthrosis. They bones which are separated by joint cavity containing synovial fluid. Synovial joint makes synovial fluid. It is freely movable and most common in limbs and important for functional activities, any kind of activities, for example gym and all, whatever you walk and everything, all all is because of synovial joints. So the structure of synovial joint are articular cartilage, joint cavity which is present, and the synovial membrane which is present, along with the fibrous capsule and bursa sometimes, which is optional. Types of synovial joint. First is plain joint, which provides the gliding movement. Intercarpal joints. Then comes the hinge joint, which does the flexion and extension movements, for example elbow. Then comes the pivot joint, which helps in the movement of rotation, for example proximal radioulnar. Then comes condyloid joint, which does the function of which initiates the movement of flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, for example wrist. Then comes the saddle joint, which is which provides biaxial movement, for example first carpometacarpal, which is thumb. Then ball and socket joint, which is multi-axial, and for example shoulder and hip. Functional classification of joint. These are based on degree of movements. Synthesis, it is immovable kind of joint. For example, the skull sutures. And amphiarthrosis, it is slightly movable kind of joints. For example, intravertebral joints. Then come the diathesis, freely movable joints, and all kind of synovial joint comes under this. This is a summary table. I hope this helps you. Meet you in the next one.